Okay, we are here on podcast number 5 and just flattered to have really an incredible guy, good friend of mine. We've got a lot of connections with the great Rob Gilbert, and Gary Prichard is a certified mental training coach in the area of sports psychology. He himself works with teams, individuals, businesses, and groups on the mental side of the game, which I'm so intrigued by. Gary has been a former coach for 20 years out at Bayshore High School, has written 2 books, and is just a really wise, I think, visionary who's done a lot of great things, married with 3 tremendous children, 3 boys, and we're just so flattered to have him with us today. So Gary Prichard.
Jim, thank you. Jocelyn, it's great to see you again, and I'm
Good to
almost
see
grateful
you.
for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gary, for coming. Yeah, we were wondering, first off, what have you found most challenging for you personally during this time?
I think it's a challenge is to stay present. We're always looking around trying to find that corner of when this thing is going to change. You know,
Yeah.
when's that where's that edge? And as a result, it's the old story of there's little bit of fear because we don't know what that is. We're in uncharted waters. There's no game plan here. So I think to be able to say, what am I going to do today? And some of us have heard that expression. You just want to win the day, right? You want to win the day.
Yeah.
And I've used the analogy of win with periods after the W, the I, and the N. And so many times during this period, I've said to myself, stop thinking about what is, and W-I-N, what's important now? What can I do with my routine and the people that I'm going to be and being impactful myself, and not rolling into a shell, basically saying, oh, this is the sky is falling, Chicken Little kind of thing, to have that overview of saying, all right, let's stay with what we can do today. And I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a lot of things that could happen. And there's a lot of, obviously we're all peppered by the news. Yes. And unfortunately, the news likes to be negative. That's what makes it sell. So to keep people positive, I think, is the other part of it. Is that challenge is not just me staying present, but making sure that I'm doing what I can to, right the ship with folks that I come in contact with too.
Right, great.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary, in this really surreal game that we're in, and you're a sports coach, make that analogy of a game. When the game's over, what do you want to take with you? What do you feel you may have learned or just has become clearer to you about what's important? When this is over, what do you want to take out with you?
Boy, that's a great question, Jim. It's kind of couple pronged for me. One is my takeaway with people, how I interact with people. I have a much stronger, not that I wasn't aware of it, but it's really hit home now of how closely we are all connected and how everything that happens in this world impacts one another. And that, it's that kind of spiritual level where we are all one in one stage or another. And I think the takeaway for me also is from that standpoint of the difference between before this, I felt like I was in that rut, like so many people, we were doing and having. I have to do this. I've got to do this and do it. And during this time, my takeaway was I've learned to be more present, to be more on just here, right now. And as a result, I just feel that it's instead of chasing it, it's a little bit more grounded. So I would think those two are probably the
beautiful.
Yeah.
Gary, I want to thank you for coming on. Jocelyn?
Yeah, thank you. No, I love that, what's been most challenging for you is also the learning from that is what you want to take with you. So Thank you
Great.
so much.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you.
Gary.